Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my theory tuition series where we're working through the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. There's a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now let's crack on with the paper S of the 2018 grade 3 practice papers. So this is just a specimen paper. It was never actually set as an exam in 2018. They've just given us this as an extra revision tool. So if you turn with me to page 15, we'll work through this together now. I always suggest that you have a go of this yourself. First of all, it doesn't matter if you go wrong. It's much more helpful to you to learn by your mistakes. Always work in pencil, and then it doesn't matter if you go wrong. You can just rub it out and have another go, and you'll learn more thoroughly that way. I use a mechanical pencil so it stays nice and sharp. That way you're not risking losing any marks through a lack of clarity with a blunt pencil. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and we'll start now looking at question 1 together. So it asks to add the missing bar lines to each of these 3 melodies. There's 3 separate time signatures, so don't just presume it's a continuation. They all begin on the first beat of the bar. Now it's worth noticing here when it says etc at the end, that means that the last bar won't be complete. So if you get stuck, you can't work from the back because this last bar isn't complete, so you've just got to work it out from the beginning. So here we're in 2 crotchet beats, 2 quarter notes per bar, and so we just need to add up to that each time and then add a bar line. So we have a quarter of a beat and a quarter of a beat here, so that gives us a half a beat. There's the remaining half a beat, and we know that it's beamed together to show each crotchet beat, so we can see at a glance there's beat 1. And then the half a beat and half a beat rest gives us beat 2, so bar line. Short bars here. Now this next one is quite a busy little combination. Now at a glance you can see there's beat 1. However, if you want to just check the maths out, just to really be sure about that, because maths is not my strong subject, I have to just visualise this. So I'm going to just diagram this out. There's a crotchet beat, a quarter note beat, there's a full beat. I'm going to just divide that into quarters. So starting here, there's half a beat. And then here we have a quarter of a beat. And then the dot is half of that, and then here's our demi-semi or 32nd note, which is the other remaining 1/8. So we can see there's 1 beat. We have half a beat here, and then 2 quarters of a beat with the rest and the semiquaver or the 16th note there gives us our remaining half, and so there's our next bar line. So don't be confused now by this triplet sign. Remember, it just means 3 in the time of 2. So mathematically speaking, all we're looking at is that. So we have 1 beat here. The dot is half as much again, so we have 1 1/2. And then this is 2 quarters of a beat, 3 in the time of 2, which is the same as a quaver or half a beat. So there's 2 beats. So there's our next bar line. Now we know that 4 quarters make a whole, so there's 1 beat, and then a half a beat and a half a beat, there's our next beat, and that just leaves that last little quaver 8th note on its own to continue on. There we go, next one. So 12/8, so literally we're counting 12 quaver beats per bar, but It will also be helpful to remember that this is quadruple compound time, so what we're looking at is 4 groups of 3 quavers. 1, 2, 3 quaver beats. There's our compound time. And at a quick glance you can see group 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line. However, let's just check the maths on that. So we're looking for 3 quaver beats, 3 quaver beats, and so on. So 1 quaver beat there, half of that plus a semi-quaver, a 16th note, gives us another quaver. 1, 2, 3. We have the same scenario again here in a different order. 1, 2, 3. There's 6. 1, 2, 3. We can see how that splits into 3. 1, 2, 3 with the dot. So there's our 12 eighth notes, 12 quaver beats. Let's carry on. So 2 semiquavers, 2 16th notes makes a quaver or an eighth note. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the dot, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's our 12 quaver beats, and we can see group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4 with the rest. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next one. I suspect this is the last bar now. 1, 2, 3 with the rest. 1, 2, 3 quaver beats there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Leaving the rest to continue. Last one. So now we're counting 3 beats per bar, and each beat is a minim or a half note. So we're counting 3 minim beats per bar. So we can see that a semi-breve or a whole note breaks into 2. So 1, 2, and then here that will give us our third. That's kind of like, if you find it hard to count a minim beat, you could always break it down into crotchets. There's 1 beat, 1 crotchet, plus that gives us another crotchet, and there you can see there's a minim. So there's our bar line. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Now then, there's 1. That's the equivalent of a minim or a half note as a rest. 2. And then here, 4 quavers gives us our remaining minim or half note. 1, 2, 3. And again, if you find that difficult, just think there's 1 crotchet, there's 1 crotchet, or quarter note to take you to your half note or your minim. So 1, 2, 3. Bar line. 1, 2, 3. Bar line. And then that's the end, because there's not enough to complete that last bar. So there we go. Just take it steady and just break your maths down and diagram it out by all means. You can always just rub out all the scribble once you've got to your thinking process completed. Let's press on. So now we need to rewrite this melody with the notes correctly beamed or correctly grouped. So we need to reflect the time signature, and we need to show where each new beat falls. So we need to show we're in 4 beats per bar, and we need to show each beat is a crotchet or a quarter note, and we need to show where each beat, new beat, starts. So here, for example, we have beat 1. There's half of a beat, so it's not enough to say, oh, we'll start trying to join these together. We need to complete this half a beat. So there's the beginning, there's beat 1. This is the first part of beat 2, and then these 2 here, these 2 semiquavers, give us the remaining part of beat 2. So actually we will beam those together because they finish that bit. Now we're on to the next beat. So beat 3, we can start afresh. We have 3/4 of a beat and a quarter, so there's that. And then 2/4 and a half, there's our next beat. So we can see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. We always show where each new beat forms. When it's a mixture of quavers and semiquavers, 8th notes and 16th notes, we always show each individual beat. We first did this in grade 1 actually. The one exception to the rule is we can have 4 quavers, 4 8th notes together, so long as it doesn't cross over the halfway point of a bar of 4/4. So that's the one exception to the rule that we can bear in mind. Now we have a 3/4 of a beat here, and then these 2/8 notes give us the remaining quarter. Remember, we worked that out in the previous question. Let's just look at that. We have a half of a beat here. Half of that again is a quarter, and then these two are eighths, which together combined make a quarter. So there's beat 1. There's beat 2, that stays as it is. Now beat 3, beat 4. So you would be at first understood to think there's beat 3, there's beat 4, but as we said, we can actually show that's not over the half, so we can have all of those together. 3/4 of a beat and a quarter, there's beat 1. Half and a half of a beat, beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4/4 gives us a whole. There's beat 3, there's beat 4. So that's all the hard thinking done. Now we've just got to actually do the beams. So I'm going to just get the note heads in place. I always do this a step at a time. I've got enough to be thinking about without trying to do 2 jobs at once. So I'm going to make sure everything's completely aligned. That way I'm not going to get lost and make a mistake and miss something. And also I know I'm not going to run out of space in the bar and everything's correctly positioned. So I'm keeping reasonably aligned with theirs. And then I'm going to be free to think, because we may have some decisions to make about which way the stems go. I'm not going to do the tie just yet until I've decided finally where my stems are going. I think it's a pretty good guess, but nevertheless I'll take it one step at a time. So beat 1, the first part of beat 2, so these are the second part of beat 2, so they'll go together. Beat 3 is beamed. Beat 4 is beamed. And already you can see how much easier that is for the performer. We can see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. That is so much easier to play now. So then these stems are going up. We're going to have to group all of these together, so this stem can also go up because it's on the middle line and it's going to have to fall in with these two here. So let's just tidy that up a bit. There we go. That's on its own. Now here we're going to have to decide what to do. This is either way. This one should go up, this one should go down. So we're going to have to make a decision. So which one requires it most? So this is 1, 2, 3 steps away. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 steps away from deciding. So that one kind of pulls the vote. That needs the stem down. So all of these stems will have to come down. I'm going to do a slight diagonal to show the direction of the pitch. These can come down. These can come down. These can all come down. By all means use a ruler. And so I've just got to put that tie in place there, I think. That looks like that's it. There we go. So this last little section just needs a little bit of thinking about. We need to describe the time signature. Is it simple or compound? And is it duple, triple or quadruple, 2, 3 or 4 beats per bar? Well, this will tell us the first. This is a crotchet or a quarter note which divides into 2 quavers. It divides into 2, not 3, therefore it's simple time. And we can see there are 4 beats in a bar, so it's simple quadruple. And that's the end of that question. We'll have a look at the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and please do share out the videos. Please also do browse around sharonbill.com and have a look at all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.